Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Special thank you to our sponsors of Marketing with Russ, Southpaw's Perfect Pizza, Boulder Falls Inn, and Jamie Yaney and Mortgage First Corporation. For more information on Southpaw's Perfect Pizza and their delicious pizza and food, go to southpawspizza.com. And for more information on Boulder Falls Inn in Lebanon, Oregon, and their amazing conference facility, go to boulderfallsinn.com. And finally, for more information on Mortgage First Corporation and Jamie Yaney, you can email her at jbecker0614@gmail.com. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. I am ready. Are you ready for a new day? It is Monday. Woohoo! It is time for a new week. It's exciting. There's so much opportunity and possibility ahead of you. And me, I'm excited. Come on, I want you to be excited too. Can you tell? Listen, I am so glad you're here this morning. You know, Marketing with Russ is here every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for your listening and viewing pleasure. And after we go live, it sits on the platform. So if you miss it or you miss part of it, you can watch it on replay using the same links we put out there. Also, it converts to an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, all of your favorite podcast platforms. And you can listen to it in your car as well. If you miss something or you're just thinking, I want to listen to that again, you can listen to it as you drive along. You can share it with your friends. It is an amazing technology that we have today that we're able to come to you on video and still give you so many other opportunities to reach and get these amazing people that we have on, like Troy Hipolito, who's going to be on today. And Troy is the not so boring LinkedIn guy. I love that. I was reading that on his LinkedIn page. That is my favorite part. I just think that alone makes me want to call and talk to Troy. So anyway, I am just so thankful he's here today. But before we bring him on, I just wanted to remind you a few things. Then we're going to give you your quick marketing tip of the day. But first, you know, this show is all about how amazing people connect. And Troy is definitely one of those amazing people. He's been on before. He's been on a couple of my shows. And over the years, we have been friends now for a few years. And what an amazing individual and all that he is doing in his life. So I'm just so thankful for him. So all about amazing people. So you know what? How do you do that? Well, you connect with me so that you can make sure you get all this information at russhedge.com. There's everything about me and how to connect with me: LinkedIn, social media, email, phone number. You can even schedule time directly on my calendar to Zoom with me, and I would love to connect with you. You know, this year, we're in the last month of the year, hard to believe, and my goal has been to connect with over 1,000 new people. Just have a few to go. Knocked it out of the park last year. Ready to do it again. So be one of those 1,000 people. Connect with me. Would love to Zoom with you and chat. Also, become part of our YouTube community right now. Everybody, including you, Troy, everybody, make sure that you open another tab and subscribe to our YouTube page if you haven't already, because I'm telling you, you get all the content, past content of the amazing people that we have had on this show. Who needs to binge Netflix? You can binge Marketing with Russ. There you go. This weekend coming up, your plans are settled. And then also you get notices about upcoming content. So I would love to have you there. You just need to go to marketingwithruss.live. It's that simple. Type in marketingwithruss.live. It'll take you directly to my YouTube page. Boom, you're done. You can subscribe and you got it. So appreciate that. Also, please tag your friends and share. Let people know Troy is on. You don't want to miss it. And also, you just want to make sure that you're letting people know that Marketing with Russ is on every Monday and Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you would do that today for us, we'd really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, if you haven't got my copy of Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose, you can pick that up on my website at russhedge.com, or you could go to Amazon or any online bookseller. Also at russhedge.com, you can get my 2 latest books, Rattled Awake, Volume 1, and A Note to My Family that just released last Friday. Both of them are bestsellers, amazing. You can pick those up on my website or on Amazon. You can go on there and get them as well. And so, yes, appreciate that. Pick those up today. You'll be truly inspired and encouraged by them, I can tell you, because the collaborative books I did, Rattled Awake and A Note to My Family, amazing co-authors on that work. Amazing. So anyway, check those out today. Okay. Now, before we bring Troy on, we're going to do our marketing tip of the day. Are you ready? All right. Here is your marketing tip of the day. You need to support and care for others. Okay. Care and support others. Why? Because, like John Maxwell says, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. If you want to influence people, you've got to show them you care and want to support them. How do you do that? Jump on social media, start liking their posts, start communicating, engaging, commenting. You can also then set up meetings and engage a comment and get to know people. Get to know people, support them, and show them you care. Remember, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And if you want to expand your marketing, your business, and all that you've got going, care for people, support them. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So care and support for people is your marketing tip of the day. All right. Woo, we got it. So we're going to get Troy in the room here and get things moving. I'm excited. He's all ready to go. He's like saying, am I ever coming on the show?
My real question was, what vitamins are you taking? Because they seem like you have a lot more energy than a 6-year-old child. So good for you.
Well, I thank you. You know what? I do take my vitamins, and actually I've been more health conscious since my whole cancer battle over the last year and a half. And so, but morning is my best time. I'll be honest with everybody and transparent. Man, I am like this and moving all through the morning. But when I get into the evening, lights out, man, I'm already taking naps and ready to go to bed. So I'm an early riser. I'm a 4 a.m. guy. So that, I've been up now I've been already working for over 4 hours this morning.
Wow. Yeah, I do get up around 6, but I'm not a 4 a.m. guy. So you have a leg up on me. And I have to give you kudos to the introduction and all that stuff. I have a monthly show, and I don't even do all that stuff. I said, he put a lot of prep work into this. So good stuff. Good stuff, Russ.
Well, I tell you need to promote your show because that's how people know, right? Let people know what's going on. And Troy, let's start right off with just the basics. Tell everybody, I know all about you. I know the amazing things you're doing, but give everybody a snapshot of Troy and what you're up to these days.
Oh, I'll give you a quick history. I was a straight developer before. So I had a company called ISO Interactive, did a lot of Fortune 500 companies and a lot of startups. So we did apps, gamification, Coca-Cola, Xbox Mobile, did a Harry Potter virtual world, very fun stuff. But we were stationed, I'm in California now next to you, Russ. Well, no, you're in Oregon. Well, same time zone. And, but in Georgia, all the work came through agencies. And the agency work were usually these Fortune companies. And after a while, these Fortune companies stopped using the agency. They cannibalized the companies to bring them inside. And so my best friends, the agencies, were my worst enemies because they were blocking me from work because the type of work that we did was a little different than what they did. We were a little higher end, so they didn't want to give up the client, which I understand, but we would never, bypass them. But it's a kind of a cutthroat business. And so I said, what are we going to do? And I asked a few friends. They said, yeah, LinkedIn. And I was like, what do you mean, that resume place? and at the time I didn't know anything about it. And so I went in there and said, well, you guys are getting all these clients you're getting all these clients on LinkedIn. I said, but my work is much better than yours. I was just joking around with a friend, of course, his great work as well. And he says, no, it's all about the relationship. And I realized that I was a terrible relationship person. I was a terrible dater in real life. So I have type A traits, and I just went after it. And it usually gets the wrong type of person, when you're that aggressive. So what I did was I was very good at systems, and we developed a system to slow date for businesses. And then I became a better dater for businesses and realized that helping people, getting business is actually a byproduct of helping others. And so with that frame or that mindset, I was able to gain a number of clients through LinkedIn. And I said, let me help other people do this. As far as the tagline, the not so boring tagline, the truth is, I'm kind of boring as toast. So I just flipped it on its head. I said, what can I do with this? And I have a little Easter eggs on my profile. And if you take a look at it, you'll find a couple of them. So hopefully that explains a little bit.
Yes. Well, no, I read that and I love that. And I love what you're doing because I've seen you kind of transition through a couple stages. You're still all about some of the same things, but I love what you just said because that was my marketing tip of the day, how to help other people, right? When you care and you help other people show up and support them, that is what draws people to you. And, there's people I know that when I first started, they had thousands of followers on LinkedIn. And I said, how did you do that? And they said, well, basically, I just got on LinkedIn and started commenting and liking and supporting everybody and the people. And I just kept going at it, because what that does is then people are like going, wow, I like this Troy guy because he really cares about what I'm saying and what I'm doing. And so then people start coming back to you with that. And I think that is so important because people miss, Troy, I think, some of the most simple things that they could do. I think they jump right over. I'm all about connection and community building. They jump right over that, and caring and engaging and supporting other people. They jump right over that, being thankful.
Well, I think a lot of people, it sounds mushy.
It does.
It's true. If you are engaging with someone and putting some thought into it, then they'll take notice. To say this person actually spent time to think about what he said. I do a lot of welcome videos, for example. And so when someone connects with me, there's a good chance that I will send a personalized video, and I will just thank them for connecting. And I will look at their profile prior, and I can scan it just to make sure I'm saying what I need to say. But I'm here talking about them. And so I keep the lines of communication open, and they look at that. I get about a 20% conversion rate to a vetted meeting just from that. So if your targeting is right and your dominoes are right, you can increase your business just by being thoughtful. And so a lot of these other individuals that are not thoughtful, that want to do a lot of quantity and things like that, those are usually felt kind of spammy. So my job is not to sell you anything. My job is to lessen your pain. So if I can reduce your pain or solve your problem, then it's a win for me, because there's only one of three things that can happen. You fixed your problem and you helped them, and you did your good deed for the day. They look at it, and there's a serious business person or whatever they are in their career. They look to the left, and then they look to the right, and they say, you know what? There's 20 other things I need to get fixed, and I'll get Russ to fix it, or I get Troy to fix it, And the third thing is they can send a recommendation, and the recommendation is 10 times more valuable than you tooting your own horn. And so you're helping people. Other people will help you because they know that they have commonalities with you. and they want to get to know this person and say, oh, I get it.
Yeah. Well, definitely. And actually it's interesting because I think when it comes down, I've got a little sign here up on my little positive desk. When you are kind to other people, be kind. When you're kind to other people and you support other people, they're generally kind back and help and support you. And so, it's interesting because I just want to give a shout out to a friend of mine who needs prayer today. And he's always talking about kindness is cool and the smiles are free. Some of the basic things, the mushy things you talked about, Troy, are the most important things because you talked about helping and solving problems and people's pain point and all that. It all starts with getting to know people. It all starts with reaching out. And I can tell you my return rates. So, for example, my connection return rate, I make it super simple and I make it totally friendly and no sales pitch, right?
Right.
So when I put that out there, you know how many people connect with me? Over 90%, probably 95% of the people connect with me on that because the approach is easy, simple, and it's non-threatening, right? All you're trying to do is connect with the people and get to know them. The other thing that I have a great response rate on, and everybody can go to russhedge.com, click on my free download that's totally free. And with that, you get my morning happy little emails that are short. And Troy, I don't know if you get those, but if you don't, you should. We should sign you up for that because all they are is a happy little moment to make you smile in the morning, right? Sure, there's a couple connection links to me if you want to go further, you want to connect to me or whatever, that's great. But the actual email itself is just a short uplifting thing that's easy for people to digest. Those kind of things people respond to really well. Those kind of things build relationship. Those kind of things bring you customers ultimately, right?
Yeah, so those are little bite-sized chunks of goodness. The
Yep.
same thing with your content. If you're posting once a week or 3 times a week or whatever, if you're posting content where you're actually solving a problem where they can initialize it, they're like, oh, these are 3 steps in order to improve this. And it actually works. Those are little bits of goodness. And the show, and I have a show as well, but mine's only once a month. You have 2 times a week. So the shows are a chance to get to know you better, and of course the other speakers and stuff.
Right.
But the little bite-sized chunks of goodness that you send out an email and other people do on posts and things like that, those are really to people to get to know you.
Right.
And when you have these longer shows, those are usually where the decision makers are. And so there's a purpose for shorter content as well as longer content, as long as you come from a place of service.
Right. No, I completely agree with that. Yeah, it's your intention. Where are you coming from? What is your intention of the whole thing? And people are smart. They feel it. They know. They know if you're trying to work them and sell them, or they know if you really care and if you're trying to get to know them. I mean, I have people ask me all the time, so what are you trying to accomplish? Trying to get to know you. I love making friends, and you know what? Down the road, maybe we can help each other, but I know I can support you now. I know there's things that I can do for you. And when you come from that giving perspective and that mindset that is a positive path for people, they are going to know, like, and trust you way faster, right?
And it's not
Because
like
you're
they're all going to be your clients. If
no,
you can handle, if you're on LinkedIn, typically you have a high value service. And those high value services, you have to fulfill those services. So you can only take on X amount of clients. I can take on more than 2, maybe 3 a month. That's it. And so everything I do is to provide value. And I have probably 5 or 6 or 10 requests for clients every month that have their paid, well, their I guess checkbook is a wrong term. I don't know if people have checkbooks anymore, but they're ready to jump on board. But also I have to slow things down because I don't know if I'm the right fit for that person.
exactly.
Because if I know that there's a good chance that I can't help you convert, I won't take you on because there's only certain clients that are primed for that. And not every client's, oh, I'm gonna get a bunch of clients in this. I don't even know if your services work well. I don't know if you are the type of person that is gonna give in the interaction, put some time into it. I don't know your
Right.
structure. I don't know your history. So those things I have to take very take on very carefully, because not every person that has a good service will be successful. They have to be set up for success.
Yeah, no, you just said it exactly right. They have to be set up for success, and you have to know if you can actually help them. What I love to do, I love referring people. I love saying, hey, I got these great friends that do this. Somebody comes to me and said, hey, you've written these books and I need your help writing a book. Yeah, I'm not your guy because I have had a lot of help. And
Yeah.
so I'm not the systems or the platform or the guy. I've got some amazing people. D. Scott Smith, my co-host of the Experience Live with Russ and Scott, is amazing. I have Lonnie Ray, I've got Nicole, I've got Liz, so many great people that are awesome at helping people with their books. That's not me, but I am happy to refer people and I love it. I love helping other people get, even if I can't do it, because you know what ends up happening? What ends up happening is they end up coming back to me at some point and go, hey, Russ, you know what? I would love to sponsor your show, or I would love to find some way to work with you because I need help with my marketing or whatever. And you've never sold them, but they know what you do. And then suddenly they come back to you. So I think that's so important. And so give us a little snapshot when somebody calls you, Troy, after you get to know them and you're really trying to help them. Do you primarily focus on LinkedIn, or are you able to help them beyond that?
Well, usually I try to figure out where their pain points are.
Right.
And they're typically business or communication or a technical aspects. They kind of go in those three categories. And I see that, well, maybe they don't have a LinkedIn problem. And if they may have an email problem. And I said, you know what? This sounds like the issue here. And this is what I would do to solve it. But if you want an expert on that area, this person is the person to talk to, you know. And I'm the same thing as you. I refer to people. Matter of fact, I'm in a couple of books myself as an Amazon bestseller, and I didn't write the book. I just contributed to it, you know. And people want to have a bestseller along with their books. I say, oh, this is what, $300 you can contribute to a book. It's almost guaranteed to do that. And I say, oh, a guy named Robert Jones, you know, connect with him, and I'll run an introduction. So my thing is just to figure out who they are, where they're coming from, and then how to solve or lessen that pain. And sometimes I will say, oh, I see what's happening. If you want to increase your conversion rate, try to do this, this, and this. And what happens is they go back and they actually do it. And again, there's one of three things that will happen. They'll be good and they'll go on because they may not have a budget. They will hire you because they just don't want to do the rest of the work. They'll discover there's 20 other things that need to happen. They just don't want to do that because that's not their business. Their business is something else. And the third is they send you a recommendation. Right. And a recommendation itself is 10 times more valuable. And you have to really think about that. Someone they trust has recommended you. So if they trust them, they're more likely to trust you. You know,
Right.
Yeah. So that's what I do on a call. I just listen to what they need and I give them honest information. It may not be the information they want to hear, but I'm pretty blunt on those type of things, that what succeed and what don't.
Well, you know, I think people like that authenticity and that just straightforward approach for the most part. Not everybody, but I think people ultimately come around to thinking, even when my beautiful wife says something to me and I go, yeah, no. And I walk away and then I think, no, she's exactly right. Because you think about it more and you start thinking, no, that's exactly right. I need to think about that more. In fact, my book, Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose, came from my beautiful wife, the befuddled part, because running out the door one morning, tripping over myself, dropping things, out of sorts. She goes, whoa, honey, you okay? And I said, I'm fine. Because that's my go-to, right? I'm fine. She goes, no. We've been married. Well, now this year it's 36 years. Wow. We've been married for all these years, she said. And I know that when you're out of sorts and you look kind of befuddled, she said. And I said,
you write it down. You wrote it down, didn't you?
I'm fine. I left and said, no, I'm not befuddled. I got in my car 1 minute down the road. I hear this voice. God is speaking to me. You're befuddled. You're out of sorts. Your wife's exactly right, you know? And so, I mean, that's just it. I mean, taking that good advice from you. That's why everybody needs a coach, Troy. Yeah.
Coaches, I'm a LinkedIn coach, and I have 2 coaches.
Yeah.
So coaches use coaches because they're an expert in their field. They're not expert in, I don't know, taxes or maybe relationships or getting to the next level or whatever those other coaches are there for. Health is a really big one as well.
Well, I always tell people too, I mean, that is exactly what a coach is helping and building. Do you think football players have no idea how to pass the ball, have no idea how to kick the ball, have no idea to run with the ball? No, they have a good idea. But do you think they need help doing it better? Absolutely. Do you think they need help making themselves better? Absolutely. And that's what a coach does, because people will tell me, oh yeah, I already know that. Well, that's good. You should know that, but why aren't you doing it? That's why you need a coach, because there's things in your life.
You're absolutely right. I had my last show, I had a salesperson. I'm not a salesperson. I'm a marketing and relationship person, right? I will bring that person to your doorstep, but I will not close the deal, right? So that's not my field of expertise. So I have a salesperson, and I've sent him clients already. And he has told me things on the show that I kind of knew, like you said, I kind of know that, but it's reinforcing and it's aligning. I said, I knew that, I kind of did that, but I didn't do it. There's a difference between kind of doing something and just straight up doing it. And I said, oh, I'm framing myself and I'm aligning myself. Once you're aligned, you move a lot faster with a lot less stress, and you can convert a lot easier because number one, you have that confidence that everything's going to work out well, and then you are very crystal clear on your ideal prospect, and you're up there to provide value. And if they don't want to work with you, great. There might be a reason for it. And so I think along those lines that everyone, no matter how smart you are, can learn something, because we get tied up into our own little thing. We're human and we make mistakes. And sometimes there are a silver lining in those mistakes, or you can actually see opportunities where you wouldn't before. And that's where the magic really happens.
Oh my goodness, that is for sure. Have you guys have you heard the quote from Michael Jordan, the number of times he failed, and that's why he's a success? He talks about the number of shots he missed, the number of games he lost, all these things. Then he goes, that is why I'm a success, because he learns from his mistakes. He learns from the processes in life. Life is the best teacher, right? Life is really going to teach us all that we really need to know. And I just think that's so much. When you talk about relationships too, this is why it's so key, because marketing and sales are different. Yes. Some people don't realize that, by the way, but yes, they're different. But if you have to force somebody into a sale, if you have to be if you have to convince them, you have to be a used car salesman, that's not somebody you want to work with, because they'll be in and out the door just like that, right? Because they're not somebody that's really aligned with you. Somebody that actually gets to the process when they trust you, that come to you and they really want to work with you. Just read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, right? That book is an amazing relationship book, and Carnegie shows, old book, but timeless information by just helping people, not even selling them. He talked about people who help their clients with things completely unrelated to anything, never even talked about their product. By the time they were done helping them, these people were coming to them to use them. They didn't have to sell them. They just built that relationship. So
yeah, I think a lot of people worry about volume, and there are systems to help with some of that, but you need a balance. You need personalization. You need to spend time as a human. And also, what's the first, if your people are connecting, usually the first thing they look at is your profile, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people's profiles aren't set up right. I have on my profile a couple of things that are a bit quirky and funny. I tell them that I'm a single father. I tell them that I was in the United States Army. I let them know that I was a web developer, and I had some type A traits. And I think some of those things people can relate to. And so you have to be relatable. you get a very high conversion rate. I don't get quite 90%, but it's because I'm in the business of LinkedIn. And so it would
Sure.
be a little bit lower than 90%, but I get a really good rate. And the people who are connecting with me, they're connecting for a reason. So I want two-way traffic. I want
Right.
people to see me. I want people to experience me, and I will also reach out to them and just tell them thank you and communicate with them and build a relationship that way. So I think a lot of people that are in the B2B market or the high value service, because I think coaching sometimes is one-on-one, so it's not quite B2B, but it's in that realm of the high value service. Um, a lot of people are not really thinking through that how do I have an objective that supports the other person, and they don't execute on that. So they just depend on some kind of, I don't know, automation system,
Right.
and think everything's going to turn around really quickly. And so you need a plan that at least has an X amount of time to get its feet so you can tweak it and that
Yep.
you're actually providing value. And for example, if you have a message with someone, how are you going to provide value to that? It's not buy my stuff. That's the wrong answer. That would
Right.
be more like spam. Usually, you want, again, lower their pain or provide something that would be helpful. And you have a guide, right, and a book. I have a daily process guide. I said, well, I'm trying to get things together. And usually, if I really think they'll use it, I'll provide, a LinkedIn daily process guide. How can you do the most work in the shortest amount of time that has the highest amount of value? In that
Well,
way, providing value to them.
yeah, that is amazing because you're giving them practical information on what they need to do what you're talking about. And that's what people are looking for too. So listen, I let the show go over. We're already over time, but I
Goodness.
wanted to have you give us your golden nugget of the day. What do you really want people to remember from today? And how do they get in touch with you?
All right. So I think I mentioned it before. I'll say that gaining business is a byproduct of helping others. And in order to reach out to me, just go to LinkedIn, type my first and last name in there, and you'll be able to find it. Troy Hipolito, that's Troy, and last name's Hipolito, Hipolito. And I have to warn you, there's one other Troy, and it's actually my brother, and he looks nothing like me. So if you find another guy in the army, that's actually my brother. That's a long story why we have the same name. He's full Filipino. So he's 6 foot and I'm 5'7". So obviously he's got the tall genes somehow. I don't know. I got the short end of the stick on that one.
Well, you know what'll help everybody, Troy, is it magically appeared under you. It's in the comments and in the show notes. So everybody just has to click on it, go straight to you. And I'm telling you guys, you need to get in touch with Troy. If you want some good, basic information that will help you be successful, don't step over the stuff that what Troy called early on the mushy stuff or the easy stuff, thinking that you have to get all complicated and thinking you have to get all salesy. You know what? Start with the important things of life. Help people, right? Help people, help more people, and get out there. Again, another quote by my good friend Russ John. So, anyway, Troy, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for coming on again today. You're amazing. And I'm going to say goodbye, but hang tight in the green room, okay?
All right.
Wow. Okay. I always say it, but it's so true. It just gets better and better and better. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube page, you need to do that because not only do you get the show today, but you'll also get the past shows with Troy on them and with other amazing people. So subscribe on YouTube today. Go to marketingwithruss.live or just jump to your favorite platform. This broadcast on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. You can check it out on any of those. And if you miss it there, you will also see, you can listen to it on iTunes, Spotify, any of your Amazon, any of your favorite platforms for podcast. And there'll also be little snippets that you'll see like the marketing tip of the day and things that will show up on all social media, even including Instagram and X, which used to be Twitter and all that stuff. So yeah, listen, I appreciate you all so much. This is such an amazing, amazing community. I appreciate everybody being here. Please continue to share this out, right? Continue to share this out with people and let them know. Also connect with me. I would love to connect with you. And if you have any issues getting a hold of Troy, just connect with me and I will help you. But it is so, so imperative that you get with good people. And Troy is one of those amazing people, right? I want to also give a last shout out to our sponsors today, because, without our sponsors, we can't do this. It takes resources to do these type of things. I know people don't realize that, but it does. Just your time is such a valuable, valuable resource. So I want to give a huge shout out to Southpaw's Perfect Pizza of Albany, Oregon, Boulder Falls Inn of Lebanon, Oregon, and Jamie Yaney and Mortgage First Corporation for supporting the show today. You can get all of their information again on the social media links that I put up there. And so it's easy to connect with them as well. So appreciate everybody being here. Don't forget, we're here every Monday and Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time or Pacific Standard Time. I'll get that right one of these days. Pacific Standard Time. There we go. And if you need anything, go to russhedge.com. Love to connect with you. And until we see you again, which is Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, have a great day and a great life. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.